I'll call to order the meeting at 7:02 PM. Will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. All right, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
All right, anyone want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
All right, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Public comment? No public comment. Announcements?
No announcements.
Right. And then approval of the minutes from July, or August 30, what day was that?
27th.
Thanks. Any changes or notes from that meeting?
See anything?
I didn't notice anything either.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Anyone want a second?
So moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then, hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the. Okay, public hearings. A, draft zoning ordinance amendment, detached accessory structures.
Yep. So we've been working on this all the way back since February 27th. Staff have compiled all the recommendations so far, and tonight is the public hearing. So here are the proposed amendments. We've went through them before. I'm not going to read through them all tonight. No changes have been made since the last time, so we're here to hold a public hearing as required due to it being a zoning ordinance amendment. After the public hearing, the commission will be asked to make a recommendation for city council action at a meeting in October.
Okay.
Sorry,
I will
Casey.
open the public hearing at 7:04 PM. Any, there's no one here. Do I still have to
Anyone
ask?
online?
Do I still, is there anyone online?
Nobody's online. You can just ask 3 times really quickly, maybe.
Okay. Anyone want to comment related to public hearing A, draft zoning ordinance on the detached accessory structures? I'll ask again. Anyone want to comment on the draft zoning ordinance amendment, detached accessory structures? And third time. Anyone want to comment on draft zoning ordinance amendment, detached accessory structures? All right. I will close the public hearing at 7:05 PM. Commissioners, ready to make the proposal to the city council?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, public hearing B, a draft zoning ordinance amendment, residential district landscaping requirements.
All right. Let me see where my mouse is. Okay. We haven't been talking about this one as long, so on July 30th, it was briefly discussed by several commissioners who expressed a desire to expand our tree list to further prevent tree loss due to future diseases or pests. Providing more variety will help reduce the chances of tree loss overall. So staff contacted Bolton and Mink to recommend some additional species that would do well in the city's climate and soils. We went through those at our last meeting. Here are the changes. So what's in green was added, mostly deciduous trees. Black Hills spruce was removed, but is still included on the list under all spruce species. American larch was changed from tamarack, and one ornamental tree was added as well. So these were the slides containing pictures of the trees and brief descriptions. There's some elm trees that are elm disease resistant, of course. So same thing with the last item. We're being asked to hold a public hearing due to a zoning ordinance amendment. After the public hearing, you'll provide a recommendation to the city council and they'll act on it in an October meeting.
All right, I'll open the public hearing at 7:07 PM regarding the draft zoning ordinance amendment residential district landscaping requirements. Anyone want to comment on the residential district landscaping requirements? I'll ask again. Anyone want to comment on residential district landscaping requirements? And the third time. Anyone want to comment on the residential district landscaping requirements? All right, I will close the public hearing at 7:07 PM. Commissioners?
I have no comment on it. I guess it's-
Okay,
I have no
I'm fine with the changes. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Great. Anyone want a second?
So moved.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, general business, cannabis draft zoning ordinance.
All right, so as you guys recall, obviously last month we spoke all things cannabis zoning. There was just one small thing I wanted your recommendation on before we bring it back next month for a public hearing. So as you'll see on the slide there, there's one section there that I had previously. At last month meeting, you saw there was no permitted uses outdoors. I have heard since from our city attorney's office that could possibly bring up litigation, so we have to permit it somewhere within the city limits. So we chose to do a conditional use permit in the urban reserve because we still believe that it should be in the townships or outside of the city, but since we have to put it in there, that's kind of our agricultural district. So I just need a recommendation on that. If you approve a CUP in the urban reserve district for outdoor cannabis cultivation, then I will bring it back next month.
Okay. Thoughts, questions?
This was for the growing of it, not, okay, I didn't know if you were talking about using or what. I
Nope,
didn't-
just outdoor growing, that's it.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to me to
Yeah.
put it in the urban reserve. I don't know what others think. If we, I mean, we can't obviously say no completely.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm good with it, so.
I don't think it would make sense for one to go in industrial.
Yeah.
I think the cost would be too high for, but I don't know, maybe they'd.
But maybe it's indoors, you're saying, or is that an option?
Well, this would just be specific to outdoor, right?
Correct. Yeah, indoors is,
Different.
yeah, has a
It's
conditional use permit in the industrial park.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I am too.
All right, so we'll make just the recommendation, right? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think I got a positive recommendation from you, and
All right,
sounds good.
great. And then miscellaneous, any community development updates?
No updates. Renee will be back Monday. She's in Europe right now, so on a well-deserved vacation.
Oh.
If you need anything from her, she probably won't get back to you till.
That was a couple days, yeah.
Okay. All
You
right,
threw you a curveball of a meeting today. A softball. I
Yeah, it
guess.
was
Yeah.
easy.
Right, yeah. Start us out easy.
Wiffle ball, maybe.
It was gonna be extremely short, and I was like, all right, I'll go.
Yeah.
all right. Any questions or comments? No?
Have we heard any, anything on any developments or nothing that you've heard of, or?
So obviously you'll probably notice all the tree clearing going on too. So that was, it's Warren Barsness's old property. He passed away. It sold to Nick Neeson, who owns End Zone, and then a gentleman also from New Prague, Casina, I think, went in it on it with them. They have no proposed plans at this point. They're just kind of getting it ready for future development, whether that be them themselves or if they sell it. They don't really know at this point. So Dakota.
Probably easier to clean it up before tree inventory, or,
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
their thinking, I think.
yeah.
Dakota Acres Second Edition have been floating some concept plans at a staff level. That will probably come to you next month, just kind of looking at it. It's an apartment unit, 35-unit apartment unit, and then I think it was 18 townhomes as well.
It goes back and forth, back and forth.
Dakota Acres Second.
Over by the townhouses and, right, yeah.
Yep.
Back, well, it was apartment, then it was
Yeah.
townhomes, and now it's a mix maybe of
So I
both.
think a couple years ago, someone approached you with a apartment building, and then he passed away, and then that kind of went nowhere. It's a different ownership group now. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
How about behind here?
So they just petitioned the city to amend their PUD, Parkway Meadows. That'll come to you probably next month as well. I'm not sure exactly what it all involved. I think they still have those 3 lots that we recommended removal of, but they did do some readjustment, so I don't think it affected the total park dedication.
I see.
So they made some lots smaller, is my guess. But I haven't looked too much at it yet. That's a next month item.
Has the new owners been approached by the city to talk about the area behind here, or?
We have a meeting scheduled with
Next Friday, I think.
next Friday with all the owners adjacent to City Hall.
Yeah.
So we can kind of get on the same page, hopefully, and work towards some kind of common goal.
Yeah,
Be a lot easier that way.
because otherwise it's leapfrogging,
Yeah.
property in between, because there's a little sliver that they own now that is like, how about our properties on either end of town? Are they gonna be burnt or demolished, or
What ends?
house here? And
Oh, Brandon's the one working on those, I think, the house demolitions.
Yes, they are.
Be burnt or practice fires, or no?
No, I don't think so. No, not that I'm aware of. Corey Schweik kind of took it from me, but last I heard, we're RFPing for demolition.
Oh, okay.
The police were doing some like SWAT training or something
Oh,
here
okay.
earlier this summer
Yeah.
at this house.
What about, okay, so we had the stop sign added over at 2 and
Yep.
the bridge. When on earth is that gonna be resolved? Because holy buckets, it has made exiting
Mhm.
35 so much worse.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
You just gotta move over.
we,
No, you're
Which
saying
one?
taking
Oh, I
the
know,
left.
go over.
South.
No, when you're coming from the south and you're waiting to turn left on 2.
Oh, take a right.
Yeah, a lot of people.
that left is brutal.
That creates a whole nother dangers when you're zipping through Josh's parking
Oh,
lot.
no, you just go the roundabout. That's the legal way.
That's the legal.
Yeah, a lot of people go through the
I know.
parking lot.
Yeah, but that won't be there in the
Or you
future.
take Cummings, heading northbound.
Heading northbound on
Yeah.
35.
I know, we
Yeah.
had so
Yeah.
much talking, I was.
What's
gone
made way better?
summer
What is she talking
when
about?
Renee had sent out
Dude, for
feelers
people
for
turning
the
left onto, when you take the exit ramp from like Northfield or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think so at
Turning
this
left for
point.
people
It's
is
just
terrible.
people have
Let
been
people go,
complaining
'cause
to the
it's just
county
been
pretty much nonstop, I
For
think, at this
sure.
point.
Yeah.
It's been backing up going
Oh, yeah.
out of town.
Yes.
I mean.
It's in the morning, it's crazy.
Crazy.
I saw the county there, I saw the county doing something there midday today. So they are definitely getting the complaints. I think it looked to me like they were making that right turn if you're going southbound, more obvious where you don't have to stop. But I haven't seen the sign yet, so.
Oh,
People
On south on
properly
35.
zipper merged on that area.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do.
but what about like a stop light, maybe a timed, like they had at one time when they were working on the bridge, they had a timed light.
I think that'll be kind of the next fix if
Yeah.
enough people complain, or like Brandon said, they'll have some kind of alternative, but we don't know at this point.
Because even coming out of like the Nehemiah's or whatever at like
Yeah.
5 at night to turn left, it's a pain.
Oh, I'm
Because
sure.
people, they're
Unless somebody lets you
racing
in.
in both lanes, because they could move over a lane and let that one be used for getting on, but they just run right past you. I've gone out there in the middle and honk at people as they drive by.
Merging lanes is a lot of work for some people. Clicking
Like
that
a
blinker.
roundabout.
Well, in a mile, I'm turning
Yeah.
left. That's what.
Save some time.
Because it's same at Quick Trip, I'm sure getting out of there. I haven't heard, I didn't see how the race went Saturday with the stop sign. I'm sure people
I'm
go
sure.
in, you know, a lot of people live or go out of town to go
Yeah.
from the races. I'm sure that backs up at 10 o'clock at night, huh?
Yeah. Well, then 35 was down to one lane too, so I'm sure that didn't help when people were trying to get on and off there.
Has there been any talks about putting a stop sign by the park in Boulder Heights?
Right on that intersection. I don't think there's been any discussions.
There
no.
should be one.
I
And where?
agree with you.
If you go
In
to the new
Boulder-
Boulder Heights, the new park that's right there, there's no stop signs at that intersection.
It's just an open intersection, so none either way. And
That whole neighborhood's all open. There's not a
That's
stop
where
sign
you
in that
live,
whole
no, or no,
neighborhood.
or no. Well,
What?
Oh,
Where
really?
do you, which part is that? Is that over That's right by the
South of the
new
golf course.
Pheasant Hills, two properties, right over there, right?
No, it would
No.
be south of Boulder Point.
Yep, new development.
South of Boulder. Point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
new
new
Oh, I
houses.
haven't been down there
Yeah, there's
for a year.
Brand new park that's right over there.
Yeah, you
that-
probably haven't seen the park yet then.
Brad, you have to go see,
Okay.
it's beautiful. And you know what,
Yeah.
thank you,
We-
it's a beautiful park, you guys, you know, how you
Really
guys
nice.
funded it and
The community
All
helps
Jake.
kind of pick it all out, so they deserve some credit too.
that's
There's
the
a-
good part.
But
There's
yeah,
a lot of little kids in that neighborhood.
definitely point taken.
Crossing like by
I think it's what, St. Andrews, is the Andrews Street?
Andrew Drive and, I don't know the other street off the top of my head, but yeah, the main intersection by the park.
So like, and if it's by a park, wouldn't you think like crosswalks or something?
Yeah, there's not
too?
crosswalks and there's a trail and sidewalk right
Yep.
next to it.
So, because I think of like the neighborhood I live in, that, you know, Wagner Park, there's the speed bumps, there's stop signs, there's, you
Mhm.
know, all the things.
Yeah, it's something we can definitely run past our city engineering department to see if that's something we can,
I don't think a speed bump's necessary, just a stop sign.
yeah,
Well,
stop
they're
sign-
like,
or-
they're
Any,
like,
any traffic
they're the
control,
low,
I agree
the
with you.
low guys, which I don't mind them so much, but
I don't like the Wagner, the Wagner Park ones. It's, gotta slow down, pretty slow.
You d-
Ryan Properties doing on their building.
I don't think
Ryan
we've-
for the road?
No, they have a house they built.
Oh,
That's gonna be up, active, I think, in October.
yeah, there's some permits that have went out for it. There's that one house that's almost up
it's-
already.
Gonna be listed north of 6.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Probably.
Right,
Yeah, the big one,
this-
the only one that's in that yeah. I think it's gonna be north of 600.
And then I see some new houses on the corner going in.
At Christmas Pines?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, they got a couple permits in there. We're working with them on some decks, because they have some pretty tiny deck
Oh.
capability there.
I see.
Uh,
It's nice to see some of the things working for them.
Yep, then there's a new one going up in Ridgeview Heights, behind your house, Nicole.
another one, it's right behind
Well, I
that?
think it's, no, it's the same,
Another one, it looks huge compared to
Maybe.
the old house there.
yeah.
I told you guys.
Just those two right now, I think. But we are in talks, I think there's a developer who's getting a purchase agreement for
Okay.
like at least half the lots in that neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
So that'll probably be a next year project, you'll see that kind of building out.
Noisy.
Yeah,
Streets are starting to come down a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
They're gonna be probably 5.5-ish.
From your lips.
What's that?
For your lips to guts.
I think they're gonna get, I don't know exactly when, but they're gonna get there.
I sure hope so.
What are they at now? I don't
I
even
know it's
know
gonna
what
happen.
they're.
I know it's gonna happen.
They're high.
I've followed this very religiously the last
Oh.
60 days.
Yeah, they're supposed to go down again after, their Federal Reserve looks at it after the election,
Yep.
and again in the new year,
Yeah, they shouldn't
Yep.
have,
so.
the half,
I'm-
the half a point is good long-term, but short-term it's wreaking havoc on stuff.
Yeah, right now that's
They're
what
like,
they
what do we
did.
do?
They
What do we
just
do?
did a
What do we
half
do?
point, and
Should have been a quarter and have been better received. Because it actually made for interim mortgage rates go
Turmoil.
up, just a tiny bit.
Oh. It's all a market.
It's gonna go there. Well, you gotta have an 800 credit score. I mean, just saying, he'll get there. It's just based off of best case scenario.
Yeah.
But I would say next year at this time is gonna be pretty frantic in housing.
We need the supply to increase too, that'd be helpful.
Supply is low.
Interesting.
Tree houses.
They're building one on 19, did you see that?
And I was thinking, okay, I'm like, what permits would they need? And I'm like, okay, that's a county thing. We don't even listen.
It's huge.
On the way to Northfield?
Yeah, the way to North.
I haven't seen it.
They
Huge.
put siding on it too.
It's been like a year they've been working on it, but it's,
At
It's
what
like
point do you need a
probably-
permit for a treehouse?
it's probably like 20 by 20. It's huge.
It's huge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like the concept.
This was an awesome meeting, guys.
Any more questions on anything?
No, it does.
All right,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, anyone want a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:22 PM.
Have all of our